my name is Emma, and for our final project, we decided to do a two-part presentation, the first part being a video and the second part being a PowerPoint, which you'll see in a minute.
Hi, my name's Maddie. For the video portion of our presentation, we decided to walk around on campus and informally interview members of our community. We asked them questions like what they think a social problem might be, what they think mental health is, and more specifically, schizophrenia, as that's the topic of our paper. So in the presentation, you're going to see people's opinions based on these questions.
All right, guys, let's get started.
What do you guys think a social problem is?
A social problem is something that affects like a large group of people, and it's like a controversial theme or idea or concept that lots of people have different opinions on.
I think a social problem is an issue that is currently in our society.
I would say that a social problem is just an issue in society, like what people, like disagreements that people may have.
I think it's something that is misunderstood or something that doesn't get the attention that it needs.
I think a social problem is anything that affects a large group of people. That could be a university like Lesley or a community or the entire United States.
Why would you consider or not consider mental health as a social problem?
Mental health as a social problem?
It is an issue in our society, and many people are affected by it, I would assume.
I would consider mental health a social problem because I think a lot of people have been suffering from mental health and that it hasn't been taken as seriously as it should.
I would consider mental health as a social problem because there's a stigma that goes along with it that people don't always really know how to take it. They have preconceived ideas of what it means and they might not be fully educated on it.
I would consider mental health a social problem, not mental health in itself, but the treatment of mental health in society.
And it's up to that individual person. I think that some people see it as a disease and some people see it as a temporary disability.
No, just because it's not a problem if someone has mental health issues, it's just part of their life.
I don't really like the word problem attached to it because I don't necessarily think that mental health should be viewed as a problem. It has a stigma attached to it and people don't want to admit sometimes when they have mental health issues. For that reason, it gets a negative connotation.
How can you tell, if you can tell, that someone has schizophrenia? Is that possible?
Usually people with schizophrenia, they...
To be honest, I wouldn't know.
I've heard some things about schizophrenia.
Schizophrenia, it's like anything. It can look like anyone at any time. It could look like a normal, as we say in society, person, or it could be someone out there who's having different delusions, who seems to be talking to themselves, things like that.
And they might display that in their actions or characteristics, but it's not a physical thing.
You can't see it, I don't think. I think you can't tell.
I've met someone with schizophrenia, but I wouldn't even be able to tell.
People can have schizophrenia that but you don't really know that the person has that. You are acquaintances with them or friends with them, but sometimes it doesn't really show in their everyday day-to-day activities.
I don't think schizophrenia looks like anything.
I think it's invisible. I don't think you can look at any one type of person or one type of behavior and say, oh, that's schizophrenia. It manifests itself in many different ways.
Would you say that there's a general lack of awareness surrounding schizophrenia and understanding the issues within it?
Clearly, because I could not just answer that question. I thought I could.
Do you think that there's a lack of awareness surrounding schizophrenia?
Definitely.
And why would you say so?
Just because I feel like there's certain stigmas that go along with it, people see things and stuff like that, and when I talked to this person who had schizophrenia, it wasn't really like that.
What do you think some possible solutions may be for those living with schizophrenia and aren't receiving treatment?
Hopefully their family's supportive.
Yeah. That's hard.
Well, I think that it's definitely
support from somebody.
Yeah.
Do you think there should be more communal-based support systems, for people that don't have family stuff to help them?
Yeah,
There.
I feel like there's a lot of resources for other types of like diseases, and there should be for mental as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like how hospitals for like physical stuff, there should
Yeah.
be more mental
Yeah.
care places.
Looking at homeless populations would probably be the way to start that. They aren't receiving treatment because no one is paying attention to them. If you have schizophrenia and come from a very affluent background, chances are you're probably getting the help that you need.
Well, I would think that people with schizophrenia would go and talk to someone or would need to seek extra care, and hopefully they see the right professionals that would help them get the right medicine that they need.
Even if they're medicated, that doesn't solve all their problems, and so they have to have some sense of like human connection and just being human.
Acceptance and treatment, and changing the stigma of it in general and making people feel like they're less of a person because they have this mental health issue known as schizophrenia.
What role do we take as citizens to help those living with schizophrenia?
Just to make it clear that we have like an open mind and are willing to help them if they need help.
Be understanding.
Yeah, I was gonna say that like we just really have to like be accepting of them, cause you know, of like everyone, just like in general, you know, mental.
Treat them normally.
Yeah, exactly.
Be a little sensitive towards them, but like
Yeah.
respectful.
Have a lot more people know about it that way. If they see someone out on the street who appears to have schizophrenia, you know, they're not going to be like maybe running away if they're like scared or something like that. They can actually go up to the person, talk to them, and know or try to understand what the person's going through.
I think being able to accommodate more for them, in any way, shape, or form.
I think we should just be more patient and be more aware of our role as people who don't have schizophrenia or people who are more neurotypical than people who do have these issues.
Living with schizophrenia.
Well, I think we just have to be accepting and understanding of it. And I think, it's always been portrayed in film and on television and that kind of thing as like something that makes you like act crazy and negatively. And I just think that if we could see people who are living every day with schizophrenia and being successful in their lives, then we could have a little bit more understanding about how people can, overcome and cope with mental health issues.
I think we just have to treat them like everybody else, and like they know that even though they might have that disability, they have friends in there like everybody else.